Good evening and welcome to QI for another tentative sniff at the enormous bottom of knowledge. Rubbing up against my leg this evening are Jeremy Clarkson, Neil Mullarkey, Liza Tarbuck, and Alan Davis. Well, tonight's show is all about dogs, and the buzzers are absolutely barking. Neil goes... Liza goes... Oh. Jeremy goes... And Alan goes... So, it's very much a doggy evening, and my first question is, why are cats comparatively comparable, whereas dogs are distinctly different?
Cats mating, it can be quite an exclusive little gang, whereas dogs, they can run riot, so you could have a Great Dane with a Chihuahua.
It's a nice image.
It would involve a stepladder.
Yes.
Or a ditch.
Is it DNA because cats have very similar DNA, whereas some dogs are more like horses? So a Dalmatian is nearer a zebra than a Great Dane. And most dogs are horses, really, or some are crocodiles and some are giraffes.
Well,
whereas all cats are cats.
We're sort of along the right lines, in as much as you've mentioned a Great Dane. Dogs can have as wide a spectrum of breed as a St. Bernard, a Newfoundland, a Great Dane, and a Chihuahua or a Mexican hairless. Cats are almost all more or less the same.
What, tigers, Manx,
Yes.
cats,
No.
pumas,
They're different species, the lions and the tigers and so on. No matter how much you breed cats, you will not get the variation you do in dogs. Dogs are unique in all animal species. Horses and cats have been bred as much as dogs over human history, but there just isn't the variety. And nobody knows why dogs have this extraordinary variety.
There's a huge amount of horses.
There are a lot of them, yes, but they're all...
all...
The point is they're not as physically distinct from each other as different breeds of dog are, one from the other. There is no animal that has...
Fish.
In one species... No, there are lots of different species of fish.
Hugely different. It's a
Fish,
good point.
exactly.
But they're all different species.
Neon
They can't...
tetra. Where's this a shark? Oh, no, it isn't. It's a neon tetra.
A shark can't mate with a guppy.
How do we know?
We know. You can introduce
You need a stepladder or a ditch.
seed. It might be able to shag one, but the point is the egg won't be fertilised.
Hang your shark in the aquarium, so just its genitals are in there. And then try and lure your guppy over.
This actually is a question I can ask here is, do dogs, when they start off in the doggy position, I was told the other day that they swivel and end up bottom to bottom. Is that
I'm going to come to this question now. I've actually provided you each with a pair of dogs for you to demonstrate to me how you think dogs mate. I'm going to start with Neil. Neil, can you bring out your dog? So, Neil.
Nice party, isn't it? How about dinner later? All right. There we are.
My dog has actually got a boyfriend who is a basset, and that's what he does.
And what was your theory there?
You get the collar and the tail, and then...
No.
That's what I do.
That's great.
My question is...
Yes.
This, OK...
Sure.
That. Do they then turn and wind up like this, some dogs?
Depends what's on telly.
What do you think? Whoa, Alan! Oops! Oh, my... What I'm going to do there is I'm going to give points to Jeremy, because the fact is, it is arse to arse, as it were. the male lifts a leg and swings it over the female's back while turning round. So it's a little like a dance there, and it's turned around, so they are now back to back. They stand with their hind ends touching, and the penis locked inside the vagina while ejaculation occurs, which is nice. Virgin dogs can become quite distressed because they find themselves often unable to separate during their first copulation. They get stuck because they can't disengorge. They have to think about John Prescott or something very, very... and then they'll go down.
We've got a Labradoodle now.
Have you?
Yeah. Graham Norton's got one as well.
You have the same dog as Graham Norton?
Yeah.
Wow. Does he...
See, we'll get you nowhere, Stephen.
No, I'm rethinking you in all kinds of ways. And, there is a blend of a poodle with a Yorkshire Terrier. What are you doing? Very nice.
He says cats are stupid.
Cats are stupid.
And they give you asthma.
Yes, they do.
They do give you asthma,
can
which is
sneeze.
why I practice my drop kicks on them.
You love getting letters, don't you? No, there is a blend of Yorkshire Terrier and poodle, and if anyone sees the owner of such a thing, you have to kill them because they've called it a Yorkie poo.
What's your stance on dogs having clothes on?
Oh, f*** off. No, I mean,
Talking of John Prescott, have you seen this dog?
oh my God, it really is. Unbelievable.
All right, come here, love.
So, we'd have to write about doggy style. Doggy style, they do, of course, mount each other in that fashion that we call doggy style, but very rarely does ejaculation take place. So let's put our dogs away now, if we may, please. Thank you, children.
Goodbye, Bruno.
Say bye-bye. So, what's the most interesting thing a dog can smell? Yes, Neil.
A dog's dinner.
Yes. To a dog, that is the most interesting thing a dog can
Oh,
smell.
another dog's bottom.
Yep. Oh, there you are. Oh, no.
My crotch. But they all do.
They do. Oh, dear, dear. Can you blame them? They're only flesh and blood. This is really interesting because it's terribly touching, really, that they can smell this. And
Cancer.
It's cancer.
No, really?
Yeah. So there was a woman who, her dog kept pawing at her leg, and she had nothing on her leg that was peculiar, just a normal number of moles, but it was only interested in one of the moles. And when she wore shorts, it tried to nip it. And so she went to the doctor, and the doctor found that this was a malignant melanoma, and it taken out. And doctors have found that dogs can smell bladder cancer, lung cancer, 99% efficiency rate at smelling it in people's breath, lung cancer. Quite extraordinary.
So have I got cancer of the bollocks, then?
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Let's not discuss.
No, let's not. Insane. We have something like 50 million of these olfactory cells up here, and they have 220-odd million. But their sense of smell is infinitely better than that. It's not just 220-odd times better. It's thousands of times better. We have machines that can smell a part in a billion, which are fantastically sensitive and complex. Dogs can smell one part in a quadrillion.
I'm worried about this dog. Has it been nailed? It can smell my crotch.
Yeah.
We all can.
I'm sorry.
It is. Yeah. How can you tell the difference between a Scouse dog, for example, and a Scottish dog? How could you tell a Scot from a Liverpudlian when you met them?
Accent.
Accent is the right answer.
Oh, you don't.
Oh, no.
Apparently, there's been a lot of research by the Canine Behaviour Centre in Cumbria, and you're going to possibly snort with derision when I tell you this, but owners and dogs left messages on the centre's answering machine. Experts then compared the pitch, tone, volume and length of the sounds made by human and dog. And they found that the Scouse and Scots dogs have the most distinctive accents. The Scouse dogs have higher-pitched voices than their equivalents.
I saw the other day that somebody's worked out that dolphins give one another names. They just don't. I mean, it's calling him Peter. He isn't.
So you really don't believe it?
No.
You-
I believe it, yeah.
Thank you.
You go, woof, woof, all right, or woof, woof, okay, the new.
So they're pretty stereotyped actions, aren't they? Well, of course, it makes sense. I mean, a dog does imitate the behaviour of the pack it's in other words, the family or the owner. So, for example, terriers that live with families with children become very manic, and the same breed of terrier, indeed from the same family, if it's with an old lady, will start shuffling along looking forlorn way before it's time.
Do they smell of wee?
Did they say how old they are? I'm 7, you know. Possibly they do.
I'm 8 next year.
So, still dog-related. What kind of dog lays eggs? Yes.
Dogfish.
Yeah.
Is the right answer. That's simple. Exactly. And what sort of fish is a dogfish?
It's a shark.
Catfish.
It's a shark, is right, Lisa. Absolutely, you get some points for that. It is a type of shark, yeah. And the sea dog, this marvellous whale shark.
That's the biggest fish in the world. It's
It
a
is.
fish.
You get a point for knowing that. It is actually around about 100 times the size of the average dogfish. That's about...
That's the Napoleon wrasse underneath it.
Well spotted. Have you ever come across one of
feed them a
these?
hard-boiled egg, the Napoleon wrasse, and they'll eat it, and all the shell comes out the gills.
People often think that sharks have to swim all the time in order not to sink to the bottom.
I love people who say that. I'm like a shark, me. I have to keep moving.
Yeah, exactly. It's that.
They say that.
Yeah, they do.
I have to keep moving. I'll get bored. I'll go out of my mind. I have to keep moving. I'm like a shark.
There are circumstances in which they don't have to. They can just get currents coming in, but they have to have water
When they go to the
moving
pictures,
through
for
their
example,
gills. They go to the, as you say.
They don't keep moving then.
The largest egg ever laid was laid by the whale shark, and they're called a mermaid's purse. Sharks used to be called sea dogs, and small sharks still are called dogfish, as we've discussed. But what's the German for sausage dog?
Dachshund.
Dachshund, oh dear, no. No, oddly enough, it is a German word. It means, you know what dach?
Low, long.
It means a badger hound.
That's a badger.
But they don't call them a dachshund, the Germans. They call them a dackel. They never say dachshund, oddly enough. But we say it, they're dackel in Gothic writing.
So what's German for dog, then?
Hund, as in our word hound. It's rather odd because in English, Old English, the only word we had for dog was hund or hound. And then suddenly, in late Middle English, this word dog arrived. And no one knows where it comes from. It's one of the great etymological mysteries of English, is nobody knows where the word dog originates. Dogger, as in dogger bank, is said to come from a Dutch word, dogger, which means a type of ship.
So you saw it doesn't mean four-legged animal that barks, because that would answer.
That would be a hint as to where we got the word, wouldn't it? There'd be some red faces all round in Oxford. Oh, damn, didn't think of that. What comes before a German bite? No, yes.
A German bark.
Yeah. You were thinking of JS, possibly,
No,
right?
they never bark when they're going to attack you. It's when they go quiet, that's when you have to worry.
Germans.
I don't know about Germans, but definitely dogs.
Definitely, yeah. Any other thoughts?
Lundy.
You're on the right line,
I was thinking it was Fisher, isn't it?
Fisher is the
Fisher.
right answer. And the first one, oddly enough, is the one we were discussing. Dogger. Dogger, Fisher, German bite. It's like a great British poem.
comedy.
Do you know what we're talking about here, Alan?
It's the shipping forecast.
Yeah, exactly.
I call them the chicken forecast, because that's what it always sounded like when I was a kid. And now, the chicken forecast.
So you get things like Sol Lundy Fastnet southeasterly 4 or 5, backing northwesterly 5 to 7, veering easterly later in Lundy, rain or showers, moderate or good. What's the difference between backing and veering?
It's weather. The chicken of backing or the chicken of veering, that's what it's about.
Wind
Veering means the wind is changing in a clockwise direction. Backing means it's changing in an anti-clockwise direction. And they always start where? Which one is the first one? When they go
Rockall.
through the areas. No, they don't start with Rockall.
40s.
No,
Pharaohs, Bailey, Hebrides.
Viking.
Viking is the first one.
Oh, damn you.
It goes Viking, north at Sierra, south at Sierra, 40s, Cromarty, fourth time Dogger, Fisher, German bite, and so on. So there you are. Sierra German bite invariably follows dogger and, as Jeremy so rightly pointed out, fisher in the shipping forecast. But there we are. We've all heard of the Isle of Dogs, but what famous islands are named after birds? Any thoughts? There are quite a few.
Puffin Island.
Is correct. Any others?
Penguin Island, Sparrow Island. Blackwood Island, Eagle Island, Heron Island.
Thrush Island.
The Canary Island.
Oh, but no! So the Canary Islands aren't... There's an example.
That's not the Canary Islands.
That is actually Bird Island we're looking at. You're absolutely right.
It's in the Seychelles.
In the Seychelles, you're quite right. Yeah, no, the Canary Islands are named after dogs. Insula Canaris means the Isle of Dogs, and the birds are named after the island. Do you know about canary wrestling?
No.
It's just a form of wrestling in the Canary Islands.
How does it work?
Well, you stand in a sand circle called the terrero, and basically, like sumo a bit, your feet have to be in the sand. If any other part of your body touches the sand, you're beaten.
Is it canaries wrestling?
No, people from the Canary Islands.
Oh, I thought it was canaries that were... I just didn't see why they did. Why would they wrestle?
Well, you have cockfighting.
Well, you know, they're angry animals.
Do you know about La Gomera? Obviously, not having been to the Canary Islands, there is an island called La Gomera. Do you know how they communicate across valleys in La
Shouting.
Gomera? They don't
Shells.
shout.
Mobile
no.
phone.
They don't... Not, it's a language they use, but instead of using their vocal cords, they...
Fart.
No, they whistle. See if you can tell what they're whistling. It's in Spanish. That is John milked the goats. I'm not making this up. The next one. That was Domingo was sick. Honestly. Let's hear that one again, because you can hear the Domingo, now you know. Listen. Domingo!
I can't help noticing.
Stop it.
Although it's in Spanish, he does have a Liverpool accent.
Why don't they just talk to each other?
Because it's bouncing off the canyons of the gorges of the valleys of La Gomera.
This is still on the Canary Islands now, is it?
Yeah.
Is this the one that's going to fall in the sea and wipe out the whole of the eastern seaboard of America?
I'm glad you asked me that, Mr. Clarkson, because that is La Palma in the Canaries. The volcano on La Palma is said that if it goes off in a big way, it will cause a tsunami that will engulf the whole of the eastern seaboard of the United States of America.
I think there's a piece of rock that's overhanging that's going to fall
it
in
will
the
cause
sea.
the collapse of the western half of the island, which will then trigger this massive tsunami. Anyway, there you are. There is a style of fighting on the Canaries, as I said, called Canarian wrestling. But explain, well, what is dog kung fu? How does that work? You can use your dogs if you... Anybody know? Yes.
I happen to know that this is mainly female kung fu, and the initial stance is hands down there, legs firmly on the floor, like
A dog.
a dog.
You're absolutely right. Very correct. Brilliant. Yep. It was invented by a Chinese nun called Wu Mei, who was wandering around her country, and she couldn't afford a retinue, and she had bound feet, and she found it very difficult to fight, you know, on her feet. So she developed this form of fighting on all fours, which involves scissor kicks and big kicks to the groin and so on. Do you know what any of the martial arts mean? What karate means, for example?
Empty hand.
Empty hand is correct, absolutely.
Judo. Be like a Jewish wedding or a party.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. It supposedly means the gentle way. I think we'd better say something about dog fighting, apart from dog kung fu. Who won the Battle of Britain for us? What machine?
Spitfire.
Spitfire, the Hurricane.
Oh, Spitfire. Who said it first? I don't know.
I think I
Cheated,
did,
cheated,
yeah.
cheated.
I'll accept that.
And then you said Hurricane, which unfortunately is the right answer.
A lot more Hurricanes.
It's a moot point, so let's get you on this subject. Well, the Hurricanes knocked out 1,593 aircraft out of 2,739 knocked out of the skies.
Yes, and the first two planes shot down by Spitfires in the Second World War were Hurricanes.
Hurricanes, you're absolutely right.
I still maintain that the Spitfire is a better
Oh, I agree, they're more glamorous, they're
They
sexy.
weren't as pretty.
They weren't. I mean, there's lovely... yes.
That's just not as pretty. I mean, I know there were more of them.
The point is they shot down the bombers, really, and the Spitfires were very good at picking out the fighters.
Have you ever talked to a Battle of Britain pilot? Because that's what they asked them to do. They said to the Hurricane guys, you go after the bombers and leave the Spitfires to go after the fighters. Apparently, if you dived into a German formation, you just went like, ah! And you opened your eyes and there was all clearly gone and you didn't know what you'd hit and there was nobody. The notion that you would go, right, I'm going for that Heinkel or whatever.
Do you know how dogfights began and when they began?
After the plane was invented, I should imagine.
Yes, but it would have been...
In the First World War.
The First World War, exactly.
They didn't have any guns. So they'd lob things out.
Well, to begin with, you're absolutely right. They'd throw bricks at each other. But it started, they would wave at each other because they didn't regard the aeroplane as being in any sense a military thing. It was just for observation and reconnaissance. And so they'd go, hello, and then the war started to get a bit nasty and they'd start doing V signs. And then they started throwing bricks, and then Mills bombs, and using the observer, the spotter, would use pistol, and then they did indeed fit guns onto them. And amazingly, I've still found, because I used to love Biggles, and it always used to astonish me that the guns were synchronised to fire through the propeller, which is just astonishing.
It was my favourite VC winner was a First World War fighter pilot, and he was called Ferdinand West, I think. And they were attacked by 7 German planes, and in the first sort of wave, he had his legs shot off, completely off. So it was jamming the controls. He took it out and threw it out of the plane, manoeuvred his plane so they could get off some good bursts into the Germans, drove them away, dropped his bombs, landed back at base, apologised for the poor quality of his landing, and then sought medical attention.
Oh. My great-uncle had his tongue shot off in the war. Never talked about it. But, Joe Badiga Bagger, sorry, thank you. Why did fighter pilots nearly always in the First World War have terrible diarrhea? I mean, awful galloping runs.
Well, it'd be quite frightening.
Yes,
Well, yeah. Fear does turn the bowels to water, but there's something else that made it even worse.
Something that some smell, fumes?
Yeah, the bearings in propellers were lubricated with castor oil. And castor oil is used for constipation, and certainly was right up until the 50s.
They all get the runs?
So they all got the most galloping runs, allied to, as you say, the fear. You're allowed to poo yourself. There's fear at this next round of questions, because it's time now to snuffle around for the leftover scraps in the doghouse of general ignorance, so fingers on buzzers, if you please. Where do gorillas sleep? Yes, very quick.
Nests.
It's the right answer. They do.
Look at the way he's eating his rocket salad.
Yeah.
He's got his little finger like that.
Isn't it very delicate, isn't it?
Like
They're amazing animals.
Camp gorilla.
But what I found interesting is the wives and children sleep in trees more than the silverback males.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff.
Also very odd is that they make a nest every day, even if they haven't moved on. So if they're in the same place, they'll go next to their perfect nest they made the night before and make a new one.
And alone, not with the family.
Yeah. Of course, the proper name for a gorilla, if you're a scientist, is gorilla. This is known as a tautonym, like a tautology, a name which uses the same word twice. 2 others are bison, and iguana, for example. So, see if you can guess these. What is ratus?
A rat.
It is a rat, yes. It's a black rat.
I was expecting all...
Yes, of course you were. No. Aureolus.
The outside of a nipple.
That would be spelled A-U-R-E. Aureolus is an... Do you know the bird? Yeah?
It's a bird.
Oi, it's the golden oriole. The oriole, yes. And the next one would be Cygnus. Yay.
Swan?
Yes, it's the Hooper swan, absolutely. These are very, very easy. So you're doing well. Points. And the next one is Puffinus. Yes.
Puffins.
Puffins? Oh, no, that's not puffins. You were doing so well, and finally we baited our trap. Puffinus is actually the Manx shearwater. There is a Manx shearwater, the oldest wild bird, apparently still alive. There was a Manx shearwater breeding on Copeland Island, Northern Ireland, that was tagged as an adult, i.e. at least 5 years old, in July 1953, and retrapped again in July 2003. So it lived to at least 55 years old. The shearwaters migrate 10,000 kilometres a year, so this one had covered a minimum of 1 million kilometres in its life. Or they've discovered a very cunning way of swapping rings. Scientists believe that it is the same one. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
So that's puffinus puffinus.
For some reason that is called puffinus, whereas a puffin is called Fratercula arctica, which means little brother, because they look like little friars, little black and white.
But they really are nice to eat.
They say they're delicious.
They really are properly nice to eat.
And, you know, there's a certain section of society that is very pleased that they're delicious to eat, especially earlier in the year, from sort of February to the end of March. Do you know why that would be? Catholics. Because they used to believe that a puffin was half fish, half bird, and therefore you can eat it on a Friday or in Lent if you're a Catholic. They are extraordinary animals because they can walk, they can swim underwater, and they can fly. And they can do it while carrying at least 12 fish in their mouths.
And be on your supper plate about 8.
You know that joke, don't you? What's the similarity between the pelican and British gas? They can both stick their bills up their arses. There we are. So, yes, puffinus is the Manx shearwater. The puffin is Fratercula arctica, as I mentioned, the little brother of the north, which brings us to the scores. And who is our Craft Supreme Champion of Champions tonight? It's newcomer Neil Mullarkey with -5 points! Bravo! Only just behind, if not best in show, at least best in breed, is Liza with -8.
Thank you so much.
In third place, with -13, is Jeremy Clarkson. But our whimpering underdog, forlornly licking the root of his scrotum tonight, is Alan Davis with -36. Well, my thanks go to Liza, Jeremy, Neil and Alan, and I leave you with this dog-eared newspaper cutting from the Europa Times. Lucky is basically a damn good guide dog, Ernst Gerber, a dog trainer from Wuppertal, told reporters. He just needs a little brush up on some elementary skills. Gerber admitted to the press conference that Lucky, a German Shepherd guide dog for the blind, had so far been responsible for the deaths of all 4 of his previous owners. I admit it's not an impressive record on paper, said Gerber. He led his first owner in front of a bus and the second off the end of a pier. He actually pushed the third owner off a railway platform just as the Cologne to Frankfurt Express was approaching. And he walked his 4th owner into heavy traffic before abandoning him and running away to safety. But apart from epileptic fits, he has a lovely temperament, and guide dogs are hard to train these days. Asked if Lucky's 5th owner would be told about the previous record, Gerber replied, no, it would make them nervous. And that would make Lucky nervous. And when Lucky gets nervous, he's liable to do something silly. Good night.